Good afternoon, everyone. It's 3:30. We'll go ahead and get started. Did Louise walk away from me? I have a thing that popped up. I've not seen that one before. Sure.
That's right.
Okay. Someone had requested captioning in the chat. I'd not seen that before, so we're going to try it. My name is Shelly Smart. I'm the executive director here at White Sands. I do see one new face in the crowd. You must be Miss Flanagan. Welcome, welcome. Is today day one for you? Yesterday, welcome, welcome. This is our monthly chat meeting. We meet the first Thursday of every month. On today's agenda, Anita Holmes will be presenting the RAISE committee. Lorraine will discuss the buildings and grounds update. Pat has some life enrichment updates. I will present a Q&A type of discussion and some questions that were recently asked of me regarding emergency preparedness and safety. And then I will also present a dining services update and then open for questions. So without further ado, Anita Holmes.
Thank you, Shelly, and thank you for letting me briefly hijack your chat. I wanted to alert residents to an article that will appear in tomorrow's Sandpiper and a flyer that will also appear on Cubigo. They relate to RAISE, and RAISE stands for Resident Advisory on Innovative Services and Experiences Committee. This committee represents a new partnership effort between residents and Human Good Management just getting underway. It's part of Human Good's ongoing commitment to fostering innovation and enhancing the quality of life across all of its communities. 3 years ago, the Human Good Resident Council, which I chair, identified innovation as one of the key concerns of residents across our life plan communities. Residents wanted to be in on choosing new technologies and services, and RAISE is your opportunity to participate. Innovation, which is one of Human Good's core values, is a process to identify needs, to evaluate and define solutions, to test the solutions, and to determine those which are scalable and provide measurable value. Resident members of this committee are expected to contribute to every step in this process by suggesting ideas for new technologies or services, by providing feedback, by identifying what is missing or what could be made better, and by communicating about the solutions to community members. The committee will meet at least quarterly or more often as needed to discuss current and upcoming innovation projects. Our goal is to have at least one representative from each life plan community on the committee. The flyer that will appear tomorrow in Cubigo has a live link to an application form. If you're interested in applying, complete the form. Applications will come back to the local resident councils to review, select the best applicants, and forward these to Human Good's innovation team for final selection. The deadline to apply is Friday, February 28th. And if you have questions, contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Up next, we have Lorraine Duran presenting on our project updates.
Shelly. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Let me put my glasses on so I can look at my notes here. Okay, so first update that we have is our assisted living refresh project. Have any of you seen the project as it's taking place? Has anyone been up to the assisted living third floor at all? Okay, so it is going very well. Right now, flooring is underway. Our LVP installation has been completed and we are in the middle of putting carpet in. Our stairs in assisted living will be closed for part of next week as we install the carpet runner. We expect to have them closed on Monday and Tuesday. Cabinet doors are currently scheduled to be installed next Tuesday, February 11th. And then countertops are currently scheduled to be installed on February 20th. Project is expected to be complete by the end of March. And when that's done, we're going to move right into the next second phase, which will be the second floor of assisted living, as long as we don't have any type of delays. But so far we have not, and everything has been moving along very well. The swimming pool. So I'm excited to share with you guys, things are going very well with the pool. We've had a lot of conversations with the city and the county recently. We actually had expected to have our permit on or about February 3rd. There were some additional comments that they came back with from both the city and the county. We answered those immediately, and right now we're just waiting for their reply back. City right now is currently turning plans in about 2 weeks, and the county's taking about 20 days. So I'm very hopeful that we will have our permit by month end. Our beachfront apartment is still currently being reviewed by the city, and they are also asking for the involvement of Coastal Commission. So I don't know if anybody has dealt with Coastal Commission at all, but that can be a very lengthy process. So we will see where that leads us. Our Pearl Street gate, as I know many of you have seen, our gate is terrible. Yes, I heard terrible out there. Yes, it has deteriorated badly. So the new gate's already been fabricated. It's currently being painted right now, and we expect to have it installed in the next 10 days. We're also currently working on our access control project again. We have the team on site for the next couple of weeks. You'll see them around campus. They're working on the additional card reader installations on our exterior doors. And then they'll also be working tomorrow on the cable that needs to be done to the elevator on East Campus, and that's elevator 1. So we will put up some signage letting you know the hours for that and what time they'll have, because they'll probably have to take the elevator down while they're working on the cables. Upcoming first quarter projects: replacement of the carpet on the second floor of the West Campus, installation of new washers and dryers in the resident laundry rooms, and then also our video wall. We are looking at some new LED panels that we'll be getting for the video wall, and then the landscape refresh on the corner of Olivetus and Pearl. Yes, any questions?
Installation of the LED panels on the video wall, is that going to be make it be down for a while?
I believe they said, I'm so sorry. The question is when we do the video wall, will the wall be down for a period of time? I believe that they told us it would be about 5 days. I do not yet. Not yet. We have to wait for the product to get here. We will plan accordingly. The question was, I'm sorry, do we know which 5 days? I do not, but we will plan accordingly based on events that happen here at White Sands. Yes. Yes, Judy.
Get the pool permit. Would you briefly tell the trajectory out after it's permitted? How many months for this and that?
I will, as soon as, so the question is if I could give a trajectory out as far as what will happen, a timeline. As soon as we have our permit and the contractor provides that to me, yes, I will be happy to share that with you guys. First and foremost. Yes. Yes, Michelle.
Continue to update us on the assisted living and things going well there. You used to update us on the redo for the bar lounge area, new furniture, whatever, and that sort of dropped off. What's happened with that?
Well, I'm looking at Shelly, and so she's giving me the thumbs up over there. So the question is where are we at with the Ocean View Lounge refresh? So Shelly and I have been working on that in the past week, and we do have movement on it. We do expect, I don't have details or dates yet. So we are working with the designer again, and I'm hoping that's something that we're going to kick off here in the next couple of weeks. And I believe our timeline for furniture and product that would come in is about 10 to 12 weeks. So it will be coming very soon. It'd more than likely be a second quarter project. Any other additional questions? John,
That hot tub off near the swimming pool.
it's gone. It's gone. The question was, where's the hot tub next to the swimming pool? It's gone. It lived its useful life, and there's a new beautiful one that will be coming. Yes. Yes. Luis, are there any questions in chat? Oh, you're not in chat right now? I don't know if how to see them on here. I just want to check the chat really quick.
Speaker's face is in front of the text.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Not a question, just a comment. It says the speaker's face is in front of the text. So Luis is going to adjust that for us
Sorry, guys.
for the next speaker, which is Pat. Come on down, Pat. What would we do without you, Louise?
Please stay close by. Louise, I want to go to that next slide. Well. Yeah. So before I talk about this slide that's up on the board, I wanted to say, first of all, congratulations to all of our half marathoners. We've had quite a few people that have already reached, I mean, we only started February 1st, and we have people that have already walked a half marathon. So that's pretty awesome. We have a very active community. And when I start talking about this slide, I know that this will be something that you will all get excited about. So I guess I'll talk about it right now. So I mentioned it a couple weeks back, maybe at chat in January, that Human Good was going to do this whole big community-wide challenge called the Active Everyday Challenge. And what it involves is they want you and team members and every level of care to record your hours every day that you spend doing something cognitive, reading a book, knitting, crafting, whatever uses your brain, and physical. So our half marathoners that are walking would record all the steps or the hours that they spent walking in the morning, and then add that to, they read a book, they spent an hour at the puzzle table, and then they were in a community discussion. And every day you're going to record that number of hours. And that's going to go into a big log that I'm not having any jurisdiction over. And Human Good will be looking at the totals. And at the end of the month, it runs from February 15th to March 15th. They will see what communities were the most involved with any kind of brain or physical challenges. So this is something that everyone can participate in. Let's say you're not physically active, you have limitations. Maybe you spend a lot of your day reading a good book or sitting at the puzzle table. You can record those hours. All the hours are weighed equally, whether it's physical or cognitive activity. So you would record those hours, and it's really easy to record. I tried it today. There is a QR code that you can scan, and it takes you right into the form. And all you do is it asks you how many hours and what community you're in, and that's all it is. So you would do that every day. There's also a hyperlink that will be active when it is up on Cubigo. I'm also going to go around, hopefully, and place little signage on different things that could be considered a cognitive activity. So you're sitting at the puzzle table, you're working on a puzzle, or sitting in the library,
hey, don't forget to record this. You just sat here for an hour working on this intense puzzle. So this will just be a way for us to, it is a competition between all the communities, but I like to think of it just as another way for us to get stronger, both physically and mentally. And this is all going back to the whole human good initiative with the X Prize, which is that large prize that we are all, that human good is looking to get for how to live longer and in better form. So more of that to come as they flesh all of that out. But this is something we're going to do. So to get us all excited about this, Chef and I were talking about it, and we're going to have some little kickoff next Saturday, the 15th, from 2 to 4 in the barbecue patio. And we're going to have some physical games. We're going to have some cognitive activities. Of course, we will have refreshments, because we need refreshments. And then we'll just enjoy all starting off together. So you'll be able to record whatever you spent doing at that little kickoff, but whatever other things. If you got up early, you went for a nice walk, then you sat down and read a book, or you cooked, because reading a recipe is reading, and that's a cognitive activity, right? Or knitting, like Irene's doing. Happy birthday, Irene. Yeah. So I think this will be fun to see all the different ways that we actually use our brain every day for a cognitive activity. So I'm excited about this. There'll be more information about it as we get closer. They're going to give us more messaging about it, but this was the first thing that came out today. So I'm happy to share that with you. And then just a reminder, we have a lot of fun things coming up. Next week, we have Super Bowl on Sunday. So we're going to have game day with yummy food. It happens to be National Pizza Day. So we will have pizza, I know, and a lot of other fun food and drinks down here watching the game. Then going forward in the week, we also have Galentine's and Palentine's Day. And I know you're probably saying, what is that? It's just a way to celebrate friendship. And that'll be at the bar on the 13th from 3:30 to 4:30, I do believe. And then we'll have our beautiful Valentine's plated dinner. Make sure you make a reservation for that on Valentine's Day, 4:45 to 7. And I hired an entertainer to come in and just play love songs and sing in the dining room while we eat from 5 to 7. So hopefully everything will be a fun week, lots of good things, using our brains and our bodies. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Any questions for Pat? Or any questions in the chat for Pat? Eduardo? Is this going to be in the mailbox?
It will be on Cubigo. It will be on the bulletin board, so you can actually go and scan it with your phone. And then it'll be hopefully on the little placards around the community. So even if you're not sitting at the puzzle table doing a puzzle, you could go over and scan the code or download the form, get the form and record something else that you've done. Bridge, mahjong, all of those things count. Kickoff is next Saturday, the 15th. That's the start of it. It runs February 15th through March 15th. And we're going to win. I just want you to know that.
Pat, maybe we could put that QR code by the puzzle table in the gym.
Yes, yes.
Oh, she's going to do that.
Ordered signage. Yeah.
She's already ordered signage. Okay. I have a secret. I'm a little bit competitive. And I have a feeling some of you are as well. So what do you say we really give this our best effort and we win? Let's win this human good competition. Yay. Got some applause for that. So it takes everyone. This is a team member and a resident activity. So we will involve the team members as well. How do we scan it? You put your phone, your cell phone on camera. And then you hover over the QR code and a link will come up and you click on that link.
Fine, connection puts, right?
And you know what, when I tried it, Shelly, I mean, I didn't even do the QR code. I just held my phone over by the hyperlink and it picked it up. Did you try that, Luis? I know you were trying to scan
Can't
it.
do it from here because of that split where the screen is at.
Oh, okay. But even just to the hyperlink to the form, you don't even have to scan the QR code. Sometimes we have problems with QR codes. We can't get the little yellow things in the box and then press it, but well, I don't know if it'll work on here, but it should be, I tried it a few times on my computer and it was really easy to do. And like I said, the form is super easy to fill out. Sorry.
Great. It works on the paper. Anita just tried it, or Luis, thank you.
Would you prefer me to print one of the flyers and put it in all your boxes?
You could also probably press the link itself. You can probably put it on Cubico.
Well, I'll do a hyperlink on Cubigo, yes. Like I even know what a hyperlink is, but I will do it. No, I do now.
Okay, and we have a comment in the chat that says, I was able to scan the QR code. So it looks like it's working. You probably just can't get it on this screen because there is that line where the screen is separating the QR code. So it's not one continuous QR code, but I like the energy around this. Let's win. Let's go for it, White Sands team. Let's work together. Whoa, oh, Luis, I did something. Thank you. Okay, up next, emergency preparedness. I had a lot of questions, really, really good questions from people due to recent events. So I wanted to bring some of those questions to this group as a whole so you can hear my responses. One person asked, where would we evacuate our health center residents if we were required to do so? Very good question. We have an official transfer agreement with our sister community, Redwood Terrace and Escondido, meaning if an emergency arises, we have to evacuate skilled nursing, we could take their residents or they could take our residents. We have first priority. Now, if that scenario doesn't pan out, if they're full, there's no capacity, then we would just call around to all the neighboring communities. Again, every emergency is really, you have to take the information that you have at hand and make the best decision with that. Luckily for our Royal Oaks community, when they had evacuation orders, they were able to shelter in place for their skilled nursing residents only, and they did not need to evacuate. So that was a good call. It would be extremely difficult to evacuate all of those residents. So that was a good question, whoever asked that one. I don't remember who that was. The next question was, I live in independent living, but the clinic manages my medications. In the event of an evacuation, how would I obtain my medications? So the answer is the medication cards go with us to wherever the evacuation site is. And in talking with the team at our team meeting last week, I think it was, we talked about emergencies as well. George and his team from transportation shared that they did evacuate the medication carts. They noted it was a little tricky getting them in and out of their van, but they went right along with the residents. So that is a part of our evacuation plan as well. Another resident in the dining room asked me, isn't White Sands the safest place to be as the West Campus was built with concrete blocks? Certainly, certainly it is much safer than the East Campus. I'm sorry, East Campus folks, you do not have concrete blocks. So it would depend on the situation. So again, every event, every emergency presents a different problem. If we are told to stay in place, we will certainly do that, and we would ask everyone to shelter in place. Next slide. How would White Sands communicate with everyone should we be evacuated? So we would communicate with everyone through email, Cubigo, and then our emergency notification system called One Call Now. Families have access to Cubigo. We have all of your emails, and then the One Call Now system, we do have all of your cell phone and your email, but you have to sign up for the text messages, and I believe I have that on one of our slides as well here. Yes. If they've signed up for it, yes. Almost everyone in our higher levels of care have access to CubaGo. You would have to ask if you wanted your own family on that. Oh, Pat is coming.
Not just CubaGo, but making sure that things are updated.
Yep, here comes Pat again, for those of you online.
Sorry, during the Royal Oaks evacuation, they called on a few of us, community life directors to go in and make sure all the family members, or at least the, DPOA's information was correct in their medical charts. So that was the only way they communicated with the family members, to let them know your family member's safe, blah, 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 blah. So it's very important that you make sure that in your medical records, that your family contact information is up to date, emails are up to date and everything. And then if you want to make sure that all your family members have a link to CubaGo, I can help you with that. Teresa and I can help you with that. It's very easy. We link a contact, and most of you already have a family member in there, but they may not have access to CubaGo, but that doesn't matter. And in the case of an emergency, as long as the information is in there, we would still be able to contact them. Sorry, but it was something we did. Well, I spent a couple of hours just going through inputting family members for Royal Oak. So it was important, and I want to make sure that we're all up to date. Sorry.
Thank you, Pat. Pat is our CubaGo expert, if she acknowledges that title or not. She is our CubaGo expert here at White Sands, so. Okay, question number 5. What were some lessons learned from our sister community's experience? The biggest lesson learned was that they sent out the evacuation notification, and everyone left, as they should have, but we didn't know where everyone went. So the community started calling everyone and trying to get a tally on where everyone was, if they were with family, if they were headed to the hotel that they had booked, and residents were not answering their phone. So staff took an extraordinarily long time searching the building, looking for people that had evacuated, and were not answering their phone to let us know where they were. So that was the biggest lesson learned. So if there's ever an evacuation here at White Sands, we ask that you let us know when you're safe to do so, or answer your phone when safe to do so. That was a big lesson. Next question. How was the recent Gilman fire communicated to the community? So it was probably 2 weeks ago at Anita's Get It Straight, about 2:45. I received a call from the fire department noting that the Gilman fire was underway. We were not in imminent danger, but they wanted us to just be prepared. And that's when we send out the 1-call notice, just asking you to get your go bag ready. So that was very, very helpful. We also received a notice from the California Department of Public Health. They asked how many skilled nursing residents we had and what our evacuation plan was. So the fire department always stresses to me when we have situations such as this, that we are the priority. They know that it would take a long time for us to fully evacuate, that we need their support. So I find assurance in that we are on as a high priority community. Number 7, will I have electricity in my independent living or assisted living unit should we lose power? The answer is no. The generators will only support the most critical areas. So we have red outlets in our health center. Those are on generators. So as people that are needing medical support, we could use those red outlets. We have some of our refrigerators and freezers in the kitchen on generator, but no, you would not have power in your independent living or assisted living apartment. Next, do we have a satellite telephone on campus if needed? I thought that was a great question. Yes, we do. We have a satellite telephone. It's stored in Lorraine's office, And she makes a weekly call to John Burke, our Director of Safety, just ensuring that it's functional. So we do have a satellite telephone. How do I sign up for emergency text messages? So this is the key. If you want those emergency text messages, you have to go in and give approval for that. We can't send that out automatically. So as I told the team, set up a contact, and their number is 22300, as noted on the screen. And these slides will go out to all of you today. And then text that number the word alert, and they will respond immediately, and you will have access. So again, you'll be getting these slides in your email. I will also post them on the resident bulletin board on the second floor. Any questions about emergency preparedness or safety? Any questions you may have? I know Ellen and Jean gave a presentation today, and they've done a great job with their monthly lessons. Irene?
But, when I was dealing with emergency plans for when I was working, we know that certain organizations get priority to have their power restored, in a priority list. So for example, hospitals are like that, and are we in qualification for being one of those being the priority list to have power restored?
Good question. Irene's question was, are we on the priority list to have power restored? She noted that hospitals are on the priority list, and she asked if we are. I've always been told that we are on the exact same level as the hospital. So, but I will follow up and ask that specific question, but they've always told me that we are on the exact same level, priority level as hospitals. Any other Trace?
Scares me. They've been out for a week now.
The part. Do you want me to talk first?
Sure.
Okay. So the question is what's happening with the elevator to the fourth floor that's been down for the past week? The parts have been ordered for it. We have been in communication with our elevator company multiple times a day. They have the parts, they've already paid for overnighting them as soon as they're available from the manufacturer. So I did not get a timeline today as I asked for one. So it will be likely within the next, I would say probably middle of next week, still until it's ready.
I'll take that one as well. So the elevator that's over across from the clinic that goes to the health center is what you're referring to. So, you know, the firefighters have techniques. They have techniques to get people down. We have another elevator there. We've done that in an emergency. We've used the smaller elevator. They are not at all worried about it. It's us that are always panicked when that elevator goes down. But the fire department said, we do this all the time. There are buildings without elevators. We have ways of getting people down. So it's not a concern at all to them, but I know we get panicked when that elevator is down because of the fourth floor. They have. Yes, the firefighters have done that. Yes, they put people in that little one before without issue. Yes, in a bag. It's a carry bag. That's how they get them down through stairs. That's how they would get them down the small elevator. It's a carry bag. Yeah, not ideal. I recognize that, but they have many, many times said, we've got this. We go to 8-story buildings without an elevator. They have done it multiple times. They've done it here before as well.
Did that go out most frequently in these elevators? Did they stock up on some of it?
That is something we do request. Unfortunately, this piece is not something that normally.
The question is, what if we have the pieces on hand that normally go out? So that is something that we request. Lorraine says there's just a multitude of parts for each elevator. We have contracts with companies that this is what they do for a living. I mean, this is what they manage. It's impossible for us to have every part on hand. I understand your concern though. And we also have slide chairs. Remember, we have slide chairs if people need to go down stairwell and they can't get down on their own. We've demonstrated here in these meetings before, slide chairs. Ellen,
Yeah, I'd like- Working very hard.
do you want to come and use the microphone and stand in front of the camera here, Ellen? Ellen is the head of our safety and security team.
Well, as most of you know, Shelly has been working really closely with me and Jean and our team to get a lot of these things to work smoothly, and they're getting better every day. But we had an interesting thing happen today. We started our second iteration of doing a monthly block drill. And it worked very well, the first iterations in the East Campus, but the one today on the West Campus, frankly, was a failure. And this is not because Ann Culinari didn't work real hard at it, because she did, and we did too. But what happened was several people in that group, we always have people who have a hospital appointment or they've got something else. So, okay, they can't make it. That's perfectly understandable. But in this case, we had 2 or 3 people say, I'm not participating. And another person said, I've already done this. I know all about it. Well, I can tell you from my own experience working with Jean, he and I think about this every week, and we do this, and we still don't know how to do it. Now, there's so many questions that come up in different areas. A good example, I talked to somebody earlier, just for a minute. I asked him, what block are you in? No idea. Well, who's your block captain? No idea. Well, where's your assembly area? I have no idea. So that's why we have these drills once a month, because we forget this stuff. It doesn't sink in. And one of the most important goals for this year is to get everybody to use the same terminology for the blocks, because it's just not helpful to say I live in North or something like that. But if we can pin it down so everybody, staff management, and all of us begin to recognize and use our term for what block they're in, then if a fire department, if somebody comes in, you got the answer right now, and people can go to the right spot. So we are going to, and I'll take all the blame for this one not working today, because well, I guess we didn't make it real clear that we do iterations of this all the way around. But, you know, a lot of people thought we don't have to do it because they already know. But it's amazing what happens. The Thursday of each month we do it, right? The first month of each Thursday we do it. And the Monday of that week, we have the block captains in, and we just talk about what's going to happen. And even though these people are putting them up to speed, you'd be surprised at the number of questions that come up just to work through that one process with them. So I really believe it's not much of an application or obligation or commitment on anybody's part to participate one time a year for 1 hour. And I hope everybody will. Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen. Well done. I want to really thank this team, this committee, all the block captains, everyone involved. We are one of the few communities that has this system. It's all on the backs of the volunteers here, and I'm so appreciative of that. I can't thank you all enough. So yes, go to your drills. Carolyn.
Made it sound very simple, although when I got thinking about it, I thought this is simple. I wonder if he would do a show and tell.
Actually, I did this morning.
So let me just repeat the question before you answer. Carolyn said, Alan put out a list of a go bag and it was very detailed, and she went to make her own go bag, but she didn't find it as easy as what maybe she was hoping. And she asked if Alan could show his go bag sometime. He does bring it to all of his monthly meetings and he shows everyone. He showed it to me today, 7 pounds, right, Alan? It was 7 pounds, his items, and he had everything in it. Alan, was there something else you wanted to share?
A good list of the things that should be on it. But I have to tell you, when we had the alert with the fire, Tillman fire, I realized, gee, my go back wasn't really very good. So I took some time to work at it. And what I've done now is I have certain items. I'll give you an example. I wear hearing aids. I have a second set of hearing aids that are battery. Okay, because if these have to go in for maintenance, I can still hear because, you know, it kind of help. So what I've done is, rather than store my second set of hearing aids in a drawer, I just throw it in the go bag. And it just sits underneath in a cabinet. And I've discovered that almost everything, extra pair of glasses, in the go bag. All these different things, I just put them in the go bag and I put them away. And I only have about 3 things that I have to pick up when we call an alert. I have to pick up my medicine. Easy peasy. I need to pick up a hat. Easy peasy. And the other thing was a flashlight. Easy peasy. And everything else is already packed. And I got a little list of it that I keep on top of my little go bag, so I can kind of reflect what I do. And so now, at every meeting that we have after the drill, I lay them on the table so everybody can see them. So if anybody would like an extra demonstration, I'd be glad to share that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, our Zoom crowd didn't hear any of that, I'm sure. So I apologize to the Zoom crowd. I'm going to just recap, and I'm sorry, Alan, it won't be anywhere near as in-depth as what you said. But Alan has a go bag. He keeps everything by the door. There are a couple of things that he keeps separate, but he does grab 3 things that are not in the go bag: the flashlight, second set of hearing aids, and a hat. And it was also mentioned that he passed around this flyer to everyone. You should have all received this. In this flyer, it has what to do if there's a no notice evacuation, what to do if we have notice. It lists the items you should have in your go bag, and it's very comprehensive. So I encourage you all to look at this list. If you need another copy, I have copies, and I'm sure Alan would be happy to get you copies as well. Okay, any other questions related to emergencies? Okay, I'm going to move on then. Dining services update. Dining prepared a couple of slides. There's just a few, so I thought I would just present them to you all. February ice cream of the month is strawberry cheesecake. Superfood of the month is dark chocolate. That looks very good, doesn't it? February events. So tonight starts the Eco Container Pilot. Raise your hand if you're part of that pilot. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for volunteering to do that. We had this pilot and we had the program in the past, and the reason it was not successful was because residents did not return the containers. So it wasn't a cost-effective program. So I'm confident that the residents we have here today will be returning those containers. So thank you all that are taking place with the pilot. The Shabbat gathering is in the Petite Cafe tomorrow. Champagne brunch will be on Sunday, which is the same day as the Super Bowl party. And the Super Bowl party will be here in the OVL at 3:30. We do have the team member appreciation ice cream social here also in the OVL on February 13th at 2:30. So I encourage you all to come to that. That's a great event, and enjoy some ice cream as well. Pat mentioned the Galentine's happy hour in the Ocean Bar, and that's on February 13th as well. That's right. Oh, that's right after the ice cream social. You can have ice cream and then hit up the bar. And then Valentine's Day dinner is the next night. Champagne brunch on February 23rd. Candlelight dinner in the AL temporary dining room, which is on the 2nd floor, is scheduled for February 26th. And then the birthday lunch is in the Petite Cafe on February 27th at noon. And Coffee Talk with Dave is in the Bistro on February 28th at 2:30 p.m. And then I wanted to give you an update on our search for a Senior Director of Dining Services. We had an overwhelming number of applications, which is a really great thing. Phone screens were completed on all the viable candidates. We interviewed 3 people this week. They all went very, very well. Our next step would be putting all the viable candidates through the continued interview process. So corporate support center panel, which will be made up of our Vice President of Hospitality, my boss was Dan Ogus, the COO, and a couple of other people. I'm not sure who else was on that one. The department head team at White Sands, and then a White Sands resident panel. And then we hope to make an offer by the end of this month. So I'm so excited about the future of dining here at White Sands. It's, and the candidates are all very strong. I just know we're going to make a huge impact here, and I'm confident our resident satisfaction scores will go up, because that's where we've struggled the last couple of years. I really want those scores to go up. So we'll see with the new director, how we can impact those scores. That's all for my presentation. Any other questions? Yes.
It's still here. This light flashes. There's gotta be a tube that's going out or something. Because we really noticed it when we had the pianist here the other day.
This one here.
Piano was out here and those with glasses were getting.
Flashes. Okay, so for those of you in Zoom, the comment was, there is a light in the OVL that flashes. And I see Lorraine is busy taking notes, so she will address the light that flickers. Will that count as one of your comment cards? Oh, and the work orders.
It will. count.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that will count. We track that, yes. Any other questions? We have a couple minutes here. And Luis, is there anything in the chat? Is he still with us? No? Okay, anything else from anyone? All right, have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming.